Hi everybody, Mick Labinskas here, and I've been luckily to be joined by Flavia in Adelaide. How are you going?
Very good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
No problems. Thanks for supporting She's Building a Robot, this crazy book that I've written, and I know it's really, really hot down there in Adelaide. It's cold and horrible here in San Francisco, so hopefully you enjoy that.
It's a good 40 degrees Australian day, indeed.
Just run of the mill January day. So, would love to start. Can you tell us what your current role is, and tell us a bit about the company you're a part of?
So I'm the co-founder and CEO of Fleet Space. Fleet Space is a company that I co-founded a couple of years ago in Australia. Is the biggest space startup of the country, and quite a big world impact as well. We came on this journey with the idea to create a constellation of small satellites called nano satellites, and we are in the journey. I'm now currently a fleet. I'll show you around.
Awesome. Please give us a tour.
Talking about satellites is not like showing satellites. This is our big warehouse. You see there our mission control. From there, we actually control the satellite in space. We got 4 now. We have launched 4 at the end of last year. And you see here a little version of one of them. So these satellites are 30 by 10 centimeters, and they're kind of changing the way space is it's working, and what we can do with space, and at what cost, and what service we can provide. So as you can see, it's a teeny tiny. This is my hand, and we build them actually in San Francisco. But there's a lot of technology we build here. We build the radios, we build the software. And I've got 20 plus people here that are building this dream with me.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations. That sounds like a lot of fun. How many satellites have you put into space so far?
So last year we put 4, one with SpaceX, and one with an Indian launcher called PSLV, and one with a rocket company called Rocket Lab in New Zealand. It was quite fascinating 2018. But our constellation is 100, so this is just the beginning, I guess.
100, wow, that's awesome. Fantastic. And can you tell me, how did you first get into technology as like a career or as a role? Do you remember your first interactions? And I'm really keen to know, what was the instigator? Was it a friend who got it for you, or a parent, or a teacher?
I think in my case was my family. I come from a family of 5. We have 5 siblings. My grandfather, so my mom's dad, had 3 degrees in engineering. So all our life was really inside engineering, and all my brothers and sisters are engineers in different topics. It goes from chemical engineer to biomedical, but I was a little girl. For me, it was space. I just wanted to do space. I'm kind of one of the kiddo that when I was little, I was just wanted to do space. I was always surrounded by technology because my family was just like that, I guess. My brother started engineering. I really didn't know what engineering was when I was little. I just loved space. Yeah. So I was asking a telescope and building little rockets, and I was probably my daughter age is 6 now. So, and I kept doing this and studied. Just I'm a big nerd, so I studied all the way through school, and I saw my brother entering this engineer career and doing really well. And then I studied space engineering and aerospace engineering, space engineering and rockets, as you do.
Where did you grow up?
So, in Rome. I'm Italian, so I grew up in Rome, and I have to admit, engineering it's a big topic in Europe. I came to Australia because my husband is Australian, and I moved here. And there's a bigger difference on the involvement of female in engineering, but engineering is great in Europe. There are so many women doing it, so it was absolutely normal.
Wow, excellent. What do you love so much about engineering?
You know, I've been an engineer. So I've got a big degree, and I've been an engineer for probably 9 years before I became a co-founder, entrepreneur, CEO. So it's a heavy background, and I work with. I literally, when I started working at 23 at the European Space Agency, I was working a rocket. So what cannot you like? It's like I had this, when I started working in the Netherlands, I had this facility indoor, under the ground, that we had to manage for rocket testing. I was like, wow, this is gonna be interesting career. And it was so difficult. There's so many problem solving, one after the other. And realistically, I'm like a normal engineer. Like I've got a couple of patents, so probably a little bit more than that. But I just like to solve problems. And having a startup is literally solving one problem after the other, and find a strategy to overcome all sorts of things. So yeah, for me, it's great.
How do you feel about the difference between working with things as an engineer and working with people as a leader?
It's things, they work much faster sometimes. Fixing things is a faster way for an engineer. Being a leader, you simply cannot fix people in the same way. Working with people, helping people, and mentoring people, and helping people grow is a long process. I found a massive difference between doing engineering in let's say in a corporate enterprise and in a startup. Engineering in a startup is an incredible journey. It's just fast, it's scrappy, it's challenging, it just crash boundaries. But yeah, people do these things, right? People do these things. So having a great team at Fleet, we have a team that we have built in 2 years with mistakes, and got extremely lucky to hire some fantastic people, and people really do make magic.
That's really good answer. And you're the mum of 2 daughters, talking to a dad of 2 daughters. Are there any specific things you're doing with your daughters around maybe thinking about coding or engineering? I know they're still young, but are there things you're sort of exposing them to that you really found useful?
Yeah. So Victoria is 3.5 now, and Katerina is 6.
Okay.
So they're little girls. And Fleet, so my company, is not even my first startup, is my second one. So these girls, and I started entrepreneurship with Katerina was 6 months. So these girls, they literally have seen all my life as a mom try to create a startup in heavy tech. When we got funded was a couple of years ago. So I spent 3 years doing this without the big investment, with them literally between my legs. They have been exposed just to this in all their life. I mean, for them it's normal. We had the launches in December, and they were up at 3 a.m. watching rocket launches. I had an issue with one satellite. We had to fly to San Francisco to fix the radio. And at 5 years old, she was on the phone saying, "What happened?" I'm like, "The radio is not communicating. Did you dismount it? Did you put it out of the satellites?" I'm like, "Yes, I did, girl." And she's like, "You have to open the amplifier." And I'm like, "What?" You don't even know. So it's not that I'm forcing them to do it, but they are so exposed to it. And for them, it's just normal. It's totally normal. They just say things that is totally unbelievable. Just the other day, I was talking, about ideas and how you can change ideas. My 3 years old is like, "I really wanna build this rocket to go and help every single extraterrestrial life in other planets." And I'm like, "You're 3!" Like what? So
wonderful.
They just have been exposed, and it's been a difficult journey, because raising a startup and 25 employees and raising 2 kids, but it's very blended, and we spend time here all together, and
that's fantastic.
I think they love it.
If there's some teenage girls there who maybe have read She's Building a Robot, or not, and they're sort of curious about technology and maybe thinking they should do something around engineering or technology, do you have any advice on first steps or approaches or how they should think about it?
Yesterday I had another similar interview talking about, we were just really heavily talking about women in STEM. Okay, I've got a very, very, very important message that I want to tell with all these teenagers, girls. And bear in mind that I receive phone calls every week of girls that ask me career and what they should do. I think they should study. There is an important thing about changing the world and creating heavy tech, that you have to know what you love. You have to be the best at it. Don't care the gender. Don't care exactly if you're a woman or a man or any other differences. I love people that know things. I studied all my life. I was a professional basketball player. I was playing basketball. I was coming home. I was studying. I loved studying, and I still love it. I went to university. I tried to own it and try to be the best at what I was doing, and things just went with the wind. Every single girl that teenagers time, and I literally ask me, what can we do and what can we study? I tell them, do what you love, but do it right. And you go there, girl, and you study, you become the best in your field, and you have an amazing future. So
awesome. Wonderful advice. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it, and giving us a tour. On that tour, there was a big building in the middle of your factory there. What's that big building? What's that?
In the middle of Fleet?
Yeah. Ooh. Do I need to be blindfolded?
So this is Fleet Mission Control, and behind it is our offices. So from Mission Control, we control the satellites that go around all over the world.
Hi, team. That's awesome.
All very smart kids here.
Yeah, I bet.
But we need more women.
Definitely more women. We're working on it. Flavia, thank you so much for sharing time out from a busy schedule of running multiple startups and looking after multiple kids. We talked about the pros and cons of both, so fantastic. Oh, some more space stuff. And thank you for really pushing the space industry there in Adelaide. I know they're doing some amazing things. They're leading Australia.
Thank you so much to you.
And thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Ciao.